And welcome to another episode of Brothers Arguing Sports. I'm Zav. Across the Zoom is Niles. And we're revisiting an older episode we did last summer, comparing how far we've come with Victor Wembanyama. So the question is, Niles, is Victor Wembanyama better than we thought he would be?
I'm going to say no. My answer is no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because I expect him to be better than what everybody expects him to be going down the line. But I expected him to play through some of his mistakes and show honestly a little bit more capability to like read the floor. But the reason I just think it was more of experience. I thought the experience would translate a little bit. The fact that he's played professionally overseas, we hear about guys like Luka and guys like Tony Parker and guys who played overseas with experience playing really young come over. And for him, the team didn't have great spacing. So playing through that, a lot of turnovers, high turnover ratio, inefficient shot making percentages, that'll come. He'll develop that.
Well, you remember, Niles, if at least TD and we both thought from his preseason, I mean, his length on defense was obvious. So
Oh,
his defensive prowess and just the way, I don't know if you saw the game a couple weeks ago when they beat the Nets in overtime.
mm-hmm.
He was just every time the Nets drove in the paint, they came back out because he just dominates.
Right.
Now,
Just unbelievable. The,
yeah,
the the part with the defensive ability, just like the timing, that's the thing that sticks out with me right away. That's the thing. The defensive aspect of the game, he's shocked me a bit. But the
yeah.
timing aspect on blocks is just unbelievable at that.
And now, do you remember what TD and I both wanted from him offensively? Why we weren't happy with him in the preseason?
A lot of 3-point attempts. I
Yeah.
think.
Now his 3-point attempts for me are still a little bit too high. 6.6 a game. He's only shooting 32%. But where he's impressed me is he scores a lot of points in the paint. He has post moves, and you saw those post moves down the stretch in their last game against the Nuggets against Jokic. He literally put on moves.
Mm-hmm.
But this is my biggest point where he surprised me, and now I see potential for him to be a really all-time great,
Right.
is his IQ. He could look at a player and he'll give him the look, and then the guy will throw him an alley-oop.
Mm-hmm.
He knows how to, on the fast break, he'll get out. He sees an opening, he'll get there. So he's
Yeah.
scoring a lot of points with his brain.
Right.
And honestly, Niles, this is where all of a sudden now I see big potential because
Right.
if he is on a team with talented, smart players, he
Mm-hmm.
could really thrive because he knows another thing, he knows how to pass the ball. You try,
Yeah.
he can pass out of the paint to hit a three, hit a guy to hit a three. So his basketball IQ is there, and you put him in
Right.
a good situation, he's going to thrive. So that's
So the way,
surprising
yeah,
me.
the way he just makes that read ahead. So that's
Yeah.
the part of the part of his game that has impressed me. Because I won't say as a whole game like he hasn't impressed me at all. This guy is a phenomenal basketball player. We saw this overseas. We had some questions about whether it was going to translate. The skill is there, the timing is there, the IQ is there, and that's what stands out to me already. Like being able to see the pass, play ahead, making quicker decisions. I love the one thing I will point out, the last thing that hasn't really don't think it's been mentioned enough is, yes, he's finishing around the basket a lot. He's also rebounding on both ends of the court. He's
Yeah.
averaging over 10 rebounds a game, almost 11. And we've seen plenty of 20 rebound games, just some amazing stat lines, but his aggressiveness to go to the free throw line, to put back his own shots, like I remember seeing Porzingis do that a lot with the Knicks, but like being able to just relentlessly try and rebound, push it up the floor, or follow his own shots on the offensive end.
Yeah.
Just amazing aggressiveness around the basket for a
The
guy that
la
high.
the last point for me though, and I agree with you about his aggressiveness, and that's for 20-year-old to play that aggressive at the NBA level is
Yeah.
you can only imagine as he gets older, but his the team is really bad. The
Mm-hmm.
team is really bad, and like I said, he's a big man. He's gonna need pieces to feed him, to throw him
Yeah.
the hoops, to find him down low. So that's
They
my
haven't had a point guard all year until Trey
they
Jones
have
started
yeah.
stepping up.
So
The
that's
spacing
that.
was horrible early on, and that's why I pointed out the turnover aspect and
He still
getting to know
turns
like
it over.
Yeah, the chemistry is building a lot though. I've seen a big, like in terms of team play, they look like a totally different team in the second half than they did early on in the year. They looked
Yeah.
absolutely terrible. The turnover numbers were like skyrocketing for a Spurs team that's never been like used to like turning over the ball this much. It was
But
ridiculous.
that's
But the spacing has changed a lot. Guys have improved. Guys are a little healthier. Keldon Johnson's on the bench. Trey Jones is starting. Sohan's not your point guard, but yeah.
but I think he's going to need like a premier guard to with the
Oh,
mindset of just getting him the ball. Like all bigs, I'm talking about for him to be an all-time great.
absolutely.
He needs look at like Jokic has a Murray. Without a Murray, he's a nothing.
Yeah.
Kareem needed Magic. You need a guard to
It's the San Antonio Spurs. I think they'll
yeah,
develop where I was always saying Dejounte Murray was going to be that guy. And
yeah.
if he had stayed in San Antonio, if you think
Mm.
about what the team would be right now, what he is right now, like
Yeah.
I just think about that a lot when I see this team developing. Like, what if?
All right, Niles, good stuff. Have a great night, and let us know what you think in the comments. Is Wemby been better or what you thought? Good night.